I'm only good at a couple of things in this life, but the number one thing is fitness and body transformation. Fitness, losing fat, the psychology around food obsession, trying every single diet and workout plan under the sun that you can imagine. With this, I transformed my own body from fat, shredded, and dozens of my clients as well. And in this video, I'm gonna give you all the lessons that I've learned over the past 5 years, so you have the knowledge and steps to also transform your health and body. I'm gonna be covering 9 things that have been absolutely crucial for me and my clients to achieve our dream body. So let's get right into it. Number 1, the only way you're ever going to lose fat is by being in a caloric deficit. In simple terms, this basically means you need to burn more calories than you bring in. That is what leads to fat loss. And the single best way to put yourself in a caloric deficit is by focusing on your diet and nutrition. There's tons of websites that you can use online to find your calorie deficit number. I just recommend the most simple, calculator.net. You'll pretty much put in your age, gender, body weight, height, and it's gonna give you a number of calories that you need to consume every single day to lose fat every single week. And then just make sure you're tracking your calories. Make sure that you're also using a food scale to weigh out your food, and that way you're accurate. And this is gonna ensure that you finally lose the fat and have dream body. Number 2, you'll hear a lot of people say that the only thing that matters are calories in, calories out. And even though I just said, yes, that's the only thing that matters for fat loss, it's not the only thing that matters for everything. So while yes, it's true, you can go to McDonald's every single day, eat Twinkies every single day, and still lose fat every single week, simply because of the law of thermodynamics and being in a calorie deficit, I would never recommend that to a client. You have to understand that everything that you put into your body is everything that you get out. Think of your body like a car. You don't want your body to be a cheap 1997 Honda Civic that breaks down the highway every couple of weeks. And you also don't want to put cheap gas into your car. You want to treat your body like a Bugatti, like it's luxurious, like it's valuable, like it's healthy. And you want to put the most expensive gas that you can inside of it. That way you get the best result. And that leads me to my third point. You need to stick clean whole foods on your weight loss journey. Eating clean whole foods like steak, chicken, tilapia, salmon, sweet potato, jasmine rice, avocado, nut is going to ensure that you have tons of energy throughout your day, that you're able to focus on everything that you need to get done, and most importantly, so you don't get those nasty cravings on your fat loss journey that typically end up with you eating everything in your pantry at midnight and then derailing all of your progress for the week. Now, this isn't to say that you can't ever go have freedom with your family and friends, but just don't overdo it. I would say at most you should only have 2 outside meals a week. Some of my favorites are like a burger and fries, steak potatoes, maybe Korean barbecue. I like to have something with protein, that way satiated for the rest of the day, so that feeling being full. I wouldn't really go with something like a funnel cake or an ice cream for my personal goals, simply because I'm a bodybuilder and happy with that. But a simple rule of thumb is if it comes from nature, it is going to be good for you, it is going to make you feel good, it's going to help the craving. And the more junk that you eat, the worse off you're going to be and the worse off you're going to feel. Also, I don't think anybody talks enough about the effects of junk food on your mental health. Do you ever notice whenever you eat a ton of greasy or fried foods, how bad you feel afterwards? You feel so slow, lethargic, like can't really even think clearly. You definitely don't want to go out or do any work. You pretty much just want to sink into your bed or couch, sleep for the rest of the day. So that's another reason to avoid junk food as much. The fourth point I want to tell you guys about is that some people do have it harder when it comes to weight loss. People with PCOS, people with diabetes, extremely obese people. But that is not an excuse to be a fat fuck. Even though some of us weren't dealt with the best cards, like the best genetics, 2 extremely thin parents that taught us how to eat, we still need to put in the work every single day to try to be healthy and break the cycle so our kids and our grandkids and the people around us can be healthy, fit, and lead long lives. There's people like David Goggins that have weighed 350 pounds and have gotten shredded with abs. There's people that have started out as obese and then they run marathons a year later, simply because they came into it with the mindset of, I'm going to be healthy, I'm going to be fit, and yes, even though I do have it harder, I'm not going to use that as an excuse for why I shouldn't see results. And that's how you need to live your life. And I would say this doesn't even necessarily relate to just fitness and weight loss. I think this relates to everything else. I see so many people living as victims this day and age, especially with the rise of social media. So many people think that they can't be wealthy, they can't be well off, they weren't born with wealth parents. I don't want to get too off track, but I mean, my parents are immigrants. They came from Colombia with literally nothing, yet they still made something out of themselves. And I still pushed through, and I started my own business, the Binge Breakthrough Academy. Now I make 6 figures at 23 years old. But imagine if I had let circumstances, my upbringing, tell me like, hey Sebastian, you can't be successful because your parents are immigrants, they don't have a lot of money, so you're never gonna be successful. And before we get to our 5th point, I did mention my business, the Binge Breakthrough Academy, which is where we help entrepreneurs and busy professionals just like yourself stop obsessing over food and finally lose the fat so you can look in the mirror and have a physique that you actually truly love. We've gotten dozens of client testimonials, transformations, and case studies We have tons of interviews posted on my channel right here as well. So if you want to work with me one-on-one to actually transform your life, and I will tell you exactly what you need to be doing for your workouts, for your meal plan, for your mindset. We'll personalize everything around your lifestyle to remove any friction. We also do weekly group calls with our community. That way you can feel motivated and ask any questions that you may have along your weight loss journey. So click that first link in the description if you want to work with me one-on-one and shortcut your way to success this year. My fifth point is that cutting out carbs is the quickest way to want to jump off a bridge. There's so many people online that try to demonize carbs and tell you that carbs are the reason you're fat, carbs are the reason you have love handles, insulin resistance this, and that's simply not true. Like I said, the only way you're ever going to lose fat is by focusing on being in a calorie deficit. And carbs are the single greatest macronutrient to give you energy, to give you mental performance for the gym, and really to help you push through your workouts. So do not neglect them. Some of my favorites are jasmine rice, potatoes, bananas, rice cakes, and I make sure to eat a lot of carbs every single day, and I'm not fat by any means. So please do not try to cut out carbs simply because you're trying to lose weight. That is a surefire way to fall off track 2 weeks in, because you're going to be miserable with your diet. And my number 6 point is any fad diet like keto, carnivore, intermittent fasting isn't necessary. It's just a form of restriction, and for most people it's going to lead to overeating in the long run. Especially since my channel is about binge eating, I know a lot of you struggle with that. So when you're trying to do these really restrictive diets, you're going to have food cravings out the wazoo and constantly be thinking about the foods that you can't have, which is going to end up in you binge eating. Guys, you need to understand that there's no such thing as an evil food. All food serves a purpose, yes, even junk food. The main rule that I recommend you guys to follow is the 80-20 rule, where 80% of your meals are clean, whole foods that you cook at home, and then 20% you have some more freedom. That way you can keep your sanity and stay consistent with your weight loss journey. My 6th point is that cardio burns more calories than weightlifting, but if I had a gun to my head, I would still pick weightlifting. And the reason for that is because yes, even though cardio can help with fat loss, weightlifting is going to help you tremendously with building muscle. And that's what's going to make your body composition look great. It's going to help you build muscle, create an aesthetic physique, create something that people look at and go, wow, I can tell this dude works out. Rather, if you just try to focus on diet and doing a ton of cardio, when you lose all the weight, it's going to look like an expired bag of milk. So make sure that you're incorporating weightlifting. The way that I recommend you to train is using something called high intensity training. So what that means is using weight that actually pushes you. I would recommend weight that actually makes you break a sweat. A good rule of thumb is if the weight scares you before you go to lift it, then it means, okay, this is actually heavy weight and this is gonna push me. You should be aiming to increase the weight you use in your workouts every single week. That's called progressive overload. And this is gonna ensure that you're building muscle, you're building strength, and you're gonna have a body that you actually truly admire. Now, this isn't to say that you should never do cardio. In fact, the best cardio method that I recommend you to do is the 12-3-30 method. Basically, you just grab a treadmill, set at 12 incline, 3 speed for 30 minutes. That's gonna help you burn around 300, 400 calories per session. And it's what's known as low intensity steady state cardio, meaning you can do it every day. It's not gonna burn you out. It's not gonna cause muscle atrophy, which means it's not gonna make your muscle shrink, but I would still put a majority of your focus on the weightlifting side of things. Number 8, this is a supplement you need to be taking if you wanna burn belly fat. I'm just fucking with you. There is no supplement that will do that. And any brand or creator that tells you a supplement will do that is just trying to get the money that's in your wallet. Unless you're one of the Kardashians taking Ozempic, nothing is going to cause you to burn belly fat other than a caloric deficit. Now, there are some supplements that can help with feeling full, with feeling more satiated. One of my favorites is L-carnitine. I'm not sponsored or affiliated by any brands. You can do your own research and get your own. Another supplement that I really like for feeling full, feeling satiated, and really helping cravings is the most popular protein powder. I recommend a whey isolate. Again, I'm not affiliated or sponsored by any brands. So again, you can do your own research and find a protein powder you actually enjoy. And my 9th and final point is the most underrated drug for fat loss is simply getting 8 hours of sleep every single night. I can't tell you the amount of times I'm on a consultation call with a potential client and they're telling me like, yeah man, my sleep just isn't that good. And I'm like, okay, how bad are we talking? And they're like, I'm sleeping maybe 4 to 5 hours a night. And I'm like, guys, that could literally be pounds of extra fat that you're losing if you just aim for 8 hours of sleep every single night. There was actually a study done that took 2 people, some that slept 5 hours a night and then some that slept 8 hours a night. And the difference in fat loss was literally 60%. So you need to make sure that you're sleeping enough every single day. And I know that's easier said than done. Some things that can help are making sure you turn off your phone at night. You can use the night shift mode. That way your brain isn't going haywire and you can't go to sleep. You can also take supplements to help with sleep like zinc, magnesium, and melatonin. and that can help knock you out like a baby and help you get to that REM cycle of sleep where actually fat loss happens. And that is everything I have learned over the past 5 years to transform my own body and all of my successful clients. If you are tired of struggling on your weight loss journey and just not seeing any results, click that first link in the description and we'll set up a consultation call so I can help you out one-on-one, where I'll help you transform your mindset, give you a meal plan and workout plan that's actually gonna help you see results, and that way you can actually have your dream body this year. Guys, I just wanna say, if you haven't seen results for the past 3, 4, maybe even 6 months, then it literally means that you need help. Stop telling yourself, oh, I can lose the weight on my own, and you haven't done it. That means you can't lose the weight on your own, and that's okay. I remember I used to tell myself the same thing, but eventually I dropped my ego and became coachable. I invested thousands of dollars into my own bodybuilding coach, and he's actually the one who helped me have that 60-pound weight loss transformation. It's like, of course, you could drive from California to New York without a map, but why wouldn't you just use a GPS and get there in half the time? Without having to make 100 different detours, wasting a ton of money on gas, wasting a ton of time in different roads that don't even lead you to the destination, when you could just work with me one-on-one inside the Binge Breakthrough Academy, and we'll get you the results you're actually looking to see in half the time. And if you did enjoy the video, please leave a like and a comment, and I will try to respond to every single one of you. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you subscribe for more videos like this.